to your team after a loss like that, giving another fourth quarter lead for the fifth time this season?
Stick together. It's obviously an emotional locker room and for the right reasons. And it is guys that in that moment after the locker room, that's tough to find those words because you felt in control, you felt like you're going to win, and then you don't. And that's happened to us a couple times. And this is a team that believes that we can put together a winning streak, a 1-game winning, 2-game, 3-game, 4-game, 5-game. Like we believe in it. And we just haven't done it. We haven't proven it to the outside world. But we're going to stick together. I can promise you that. It's a group of men I'm proud to coach, and we're going to stick together. We're going to get through this, and there's much better days ahead.
Zach, how much of that last drive was Baker just being as hot as he was really since the first quarter, and how much of it was maybe not the coverage you wanted?
You got a sack. If we can just finish the sack on really whatever it was, the first or second play, they got clock running. They're in disarray. And he pulls out of it, and he finds a completion. And then you get some one-on-one situations. We weren't going to – last week was a bunch of zone coverage, and they had some good success. So we put a little bit of man coverage there, and they won some one-on-one opportunities. That's just the way it goes. And it's unfortunate that it went down that way.
Zach, how would you describe Joe Burrow's performance today?
Awesome.
Why was he so effective throughout the day? Why was he so resilient, especially in that fourth quarter?
He's always that way, though. You look at last game, there's not many bad decisions I'm putting on his plate. It's the first interception. He's got to throw a better ball in the first interception. And there was a sack or two there that probably need to get rid of the ball. Those were all in the first half. Those were probably all in the first two drives, maybe. And from there, you can call any play and trust that it's going to be executed. You're going to find explosives on non-explosive calls. He's going to get plays with his feet. He's going to extend plays. And it makes everybody around him better.
Zach, can you take us?
What led to the defense allowing Baker Mayfield?
Go ahead, Jeff. Sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
Sorry. Thank you. I just wondered if you could take us through the 4th and 1 decision there. What's going through your mind, and what made that play work?
Gio.
Yeah.
Gio made it work. I'm saying Gio made it work. Gio did a heck of a job with the motion. At first, he sent the motion across, and the safety didn't run with him, and I was concerned there for a moment. We got other options, but he sold it. He sold it coming back, lost his man, and then was free in the flat. So really good execution by all those guys, but I'd give most of the credit to Gio there.
You've been pretty successful with sneaks all day. Did you think you'd surprise him?
Sneaks aren't great against every front, though. It's you got to actually see what they're in before you just put the ball in the ref's hands. In a critical situation like that, and so that was not an option right there. You can call a sneak and just hope that the ref is on your side for that one play, but we felt good about the play call there. So go ahead, Charlie. I know that you were trying to ask.
Thank you.
Sorry. What is the reason that Baker Mayfield completed 20 consecutive passes?
He was hot, and you got to give credit to him. And we got to make some plays. There was a bunch of snaps of man coverage there where they made the plays and we did not.
Your left tackle got hurt, your center got hurt, and your right tackle got hurt. Have you ever been involved in a game like that where you had 3 starting offensive linemen get injured?
No, I haven't. But again, this is as resilient a group as you've ever been around. And no one can see it because no one comes in the locker room. And everyone's just going to say the things they say about these guys because we can't win. But it's as resilient a group as I've ever been around. And they just have faith in the next man up. Next man come in, make a play. We're counting on you to do your job. Just really impressed with the backups that came in the game. Unlimited reps, even Mason Schreck, Seathan woke up this morning and couldn't go. And Mason Schreck had no idea that was coming his way. And he stepped up and was our second tight end. And, we had a big tight end with Fred. Fred had to move to left tackle. Then he had to move to right tackle. So we lost that. But the guys just kept their heads up and kept chugging along. And I think we only had 2 turnovers. I don't think we ever punted, if I remember correctly. They just kept getting the job done.
Coach, it looked like the screen game was good to you today. You ran the screen about every way known to mankind, including that little gadget screen. I mean, you took advantage of them in that screen game, didn't you?
They were doing a nice job, stopping the run. And so, sometimes on the stat sheet, it's going to say you had a bunch of passes when you really didn't. You're just supplementing the run game with the screens and some of those specials and some of those quick games. That's all they're just long handoffs. That's all it is. And I thought that we did a good job executing in that area today.
Zach, how confident are you not only right now as a play caller, but in your offense the last couple of weeks specifically?
Couldn't have more confidence. Couldn't. Those guys believe every play is going to work. They make every play work. It doesn't have to be the best play call. They just get it done. And there's a belief right now in that room that they can score on every play, and they're trying to do that. Now you're starting to see guys run after the catch. And that's kind of been something that's been missing for a while. And I thought today guys really did a good job in that area, stepping up.
Guys, 2 more minutes with Coach.
Zach, how concerning is it that Mayfield did not have an incompletion aside from that spike in the final three quarters?
Yeah, that's not what you want to see. We got to do a better job getting to the quarterback with our rushes and our pressures, and then holding it down on the back end.
Coach, they lose Hooper, the tight end, but their tight ends combined for 3 touchdown catches. So Baker Mayfield utilized the tight end. What was part of the problem, you think, in corralling those tight ends?
Yeah, 2 of them stand out. They ran a quick out where they beat us early in the game, and then he threw a great ball on a striker out, some 5-step slant or something, where I thought Vaughn was in really good position. It was about the only place you could put it, and who was it, the kid from Florida Atlantic that probably made the catch? I'm not sure who that was, but they did a great job on those. I can't think of the third one, but again, we got to do a better job tightening down in coverage and be the ones to make the plays.
Zach, it looked like
get us where we want to be, and that's who we put our focus on.
One last question for Coach.
Carlos is one of the quote designated pass rushers, and for 2 straight weeks, no sacks on the quarterback, very little pressure. How disappointing.
We got to do a better job up front, just with everybody getting pressure on the passer.
Zach, thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you.
All right, hang tight, guys. Joe Burrow should be coming up soon.
Sorry, Pete. We had a little.
Joe, thanks for joining us.
Yep.
All right, Lap, go ahead with your questions.
Joe, it seemed like 2 quarterbacks first pick of their respective drafts. It wasn't a shootout at the OK Corral. It was a shootout at Paul Brown Stadium. How challenging is it trying to match somebody as hot as Baker Mayfield got?
Yeah, he played unbelievable. That last drive was impressive. That sack to start it off, where I thought we had him, and then he was able to get that ball off. That was impressive. So hats off to him. He played great.
You not only surpassed 300 yards, you go for over 400 for the first time in your career, and you're running the ball well. You were just behind Giovanni Bernard as the leading rusher. I mean, what more can you do for your football team?
I had 2 turnovers. Got to stop doing that. I've had a turnover in 3 straight games. Can't do that.
Your offensive line, Joe, you were down 3 starters at the end of the football game. The whole second half, you were down 2 starters. Those guys stepped up, though, for you, didn't they?
Yeah, they really did. It was Bill, Fred, and Hakeem came in there at the end. I mean, they battled their asses off. I was proud of those guys for coming in and playing the way they did when,
sorry.
Against the fan. They played their tails off for us and stepped up when their number was called.
Sorry about cutting you off. Your 2 best pass games have come against the Cleveland Browns. What have you been doing to have been so successful versus this team? I know it's 2 losses, but over 300 yards in week 2 and over 400 yards today.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. Football is about letters, not numbers, W and L. We took an L today.
Hey, Joe, on the 4th and 1, did you guys talk about, I guess Zach was saying they just didn't give you, the sneak. The sneak wasn't there. Can you kind of walk us through that 4th and 1 there and the throw and what Gio did?
Yeah, so, we had 2 plays called, and either a sneak or that one, and they didn't give us the look that we wanted for the sneak. They just packed him in there, and Gio did a great job with his motion, getting himself open.
You said you never played a team twice in your career. Did the Browns defense play you any different than in week 2?
They blitzed a little more than they did at the beginning of the game, but we were kind of making some checks and kind of gashing them with it a little bit. So they kind of got away from that towards the end of the game, and so that's one thing they did different.
Joe, one thing that Zach said was that regardless of what happens, you guys are going to stick together. How hard is that after this loss?
We got a bunch of great guys in this locker room and great coaching staff. Zach's going to get us to where we want to go. I know everyone is down in the dumps right now. The fan base is frustrated just as we are. We're 1-5, 1-6. What are we? 1-5. But we got a great guy at the helm in Zach who called a great game today. He really did, and he's going to keep us together. He's the leader of our team, the leader of our organization, and he's going to keep us together.
Guys, 4 minutes with Joe.
Your screen game. I'm sorry, Pete. Your screen game today was really good to you. I mean, you screened a bunch of different ways to a bunch of different people. Went to your running back, your tight ends, your receivers. Your gadget play ended up being a screen. I mean, it was really good to you today, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's what was kind of gashing them when they were blitzing. So we're calling screens, and we got them into blitzes a lot. I think that kind of got them away from the blitzing. So that was a good part of the game plan today.
So one of your best throws, it looked like you weren't even looking. It was a snap that you dropped, and boom, you put it right to AJ. You put it right there. I mean, that was I guess you knew right where you were going.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to AJ the whole time. I got to catch that snap. That's unfortunate, but Denzel made an unbelievable play there. AJ had it in his hands, shielding him with his back, and Denzel reached over his back and punched it out. I mean, that's a big time play from Denzel.
Joe, what do y'all need to pull out one of these fourth quarter leads and convert that to a W?
Sorry, say that again.
What do y'all need to be doing differently to convert one of these fourth quarter leads into a W?
We kicked some field goals down there that kind of ended up being the difference in the game, turned the ball over. I think we ended up scoring on every drive in the second half, but we just got to score touchdowns every time instead of field goals.
Guys, one more question for Joe.
One of the few things you hadn't done this year was lead a touchdown drive at the end like you did today. Can you just describe the feeling and the reaction after that moment?
That's what I expect of myself. It's, it is exciting, but, I expect myself to do that every week. Ball in my hand at the end of the game, I'm comfortable and confident that I'm going to go down and make the play to win. Unfortunately, Baker was playing out of his mind and led that 2-minute drive after us.
All right, Joe, we'll let you go. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Joe.
Guys, Josh Bynes is up next. Don't go anywhere. You should be ready.